I'm not sure if the Wi-Fi is any good in here because it was going on and off as I was trying to send some very important emails. Good morning, welcome to Matt Bajerski YouTube channel, live from Planta Bistro on the Golden Mile in Marbella. I drive down here because there's nice people who serve you. Roman's one of them, very nice guy. It's just a lovely place in general. Hi everybody, welcome. Yeah, it's nice energy, nice music, healthy food, organic. So I come down here and just relax. It's like I don't know what it's like. I think I'm like a rabbit. I like to go on the same run every morning. I can go anywhere I want in my village, but I just like to drive down here, and it's convenient because I'm looking after Lily at the moment full time while Mum is out of the country. We end up going down to the beach. So as soon as I've finished here, we go to the beach. I was on the Richie Allen radio show last night. It was great. I always love going on the show, and it was last minute, so that was good for me. I like last minute. I like the energy of just talking. I like the energy of not preparing anything. I'm not really into that. I like to just talk. We discussed quite a few things. We went from reincarnation to the spirit world to the planet that many people now believe is a planet that just feeds off good souls. That's not true though, because there's a lot of bad souls. So you can't just say that this planet or these whatever it may be, whatever I mean, there's so many different forms of understanding what this planet is. The prison planet theory. Well, there's a lot of evil people in this world. Why have they come? If this is a prison planet, why are paedophiles here? If it's a prison planet, why would they be in the prison matrix? Well, that's not true. They thrive on this planet. They thrive. Monsters, paedophiles are 100% protected. They'll throw a few out just to appease the masses. But in general, people now, you can't deny that we're in a world which is run by evil. Evil runs the world. 3-letter agencies, corporations, they're all pure evil, satanic monsters that are not like you and I. So my theory, in the sense of what I've learned over 20 years as a healer and placed hands onto people's hearts, I know the difference between monsters and beautiful souls. Monsters that come from a different world than you and I. I've learned to walk into properties and feel the presence of trapped spirit, whether it was a good spirit or whether it was a bad spirit. They both get trapped. So it's not like evil knows what it's doing, because there's a lot of bad spirits that get trapped. And then let's not forget all those entities, attachments, demonic energies that are around all the time waiting to jump into somebody, attach to somebody, or to cause havoc in manipulating people's thoughts. This world isn't cut and dry by saying it's a planet prison. It goes so deep, and there are so many aspects of what this planet is and what is on this planet and what comes into this frequency, energy, vibration, what comes in and out of different layers with the great help of the most satanic company in the world, which is attached to CERN, the Vatican, DARPA, all of these monsters that cause chaos in the world, that spray the poisons over us, that put poisons in the foods. This world is complicated. And when somebody sits down and does a podcast and says, I know what's happening here, that's a red flag. What their perspective is, what they may have read in a few ancient texts, what they may have experienced one-off, that then makes them believe that what they're saying is genuine. It may be, but to every one person who has a story, there's a million other stories that are genuine. So nobody can say they have the answer to anything, because there's so many levels to this planet, this Earth. And what happens below the Earth, what happens above the Earth, what happens in between those radio stations. It's a complex place, guys, and nobody has the answers. Nobody has the answers, because even within the answer that you have, there are probably a million more other reasons why that answer you have is. We haven't even scratched the surface to what's happening on this planet daily. We have no clue other than what we're figuring out, that we're being stuffed by a few very wealthy people in this world who are running and controlling it. Some of us believe that these families, these bloodlines, these whatever you want to call them, archons, there's so many different words to be used for the same reference. So Dominic from Sheep Farm said something that made so much sense. All of us have our unique perspective, but all roads take you to the same place ultimately. It really does. So we're coming at things in a different angle, but we're all on the same path, if you see what I mean. The problem is we've been brainwashed to believe that we have to know the answer. The first and foremost most powerful brainwashing statement is there's either right or wrong. There's either good or bad. They just give you two choices. That's where the hijack began. That's where the program began. What if I said there wasn't a right or a wrong, but there are a million different other reasons than right and wrong? And it stops it. It basically stops conversations. Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, good, I'm happy now. So we'll just shut up and move on to something else. You're wrong. Oh, shut up. Let's not talk about it anymore because he thinks I'm wrong. Right or wrong shuts down conversation. So you're not right, you're not wrong, because there is no such thing as right and wrong. I'm neither right or wrong. I just have an experience where I share with you. Like yesterday, I shared light language. I'm neither right nor wrong. There's so many things happening in that frequency and energy. I had Dorota who came to my circle nights who used to sing like an angel. She could tell me that what she's singing is a certain something. And I'm like, well, I didn't understand that, but it feels nice. Is she right? Is she wrong? Light language, they can make all of these things up. To me, I don't get it. But that doesn't mean that they're wrong. What does wrong mean? What am I asking what's wrong? Explain what wrong means, Mark. What are you saying what's wrong? Well, what they're doing, it's like breathing. Are you doing it right? Are you doing it wrong? I'm not here to take the piss out of people, although I've got to say, when I hear light language, I don't get it. And I've got to be honest, I laugh a lot. I can't help it. It makes me laugh. And maybe that's a really good thing. Maybe they didn't even realize that they're actually brilliant at what they do because they make people laugh. And I laugh at that. And it releases. Yeah, it does. It bloody does release. In my head, it's like, can it get any more crazy? Is this, for me, my instant thought is, this is the reason why I'm mocked and ridiculed as a healer and somebody who works with crystals. This is the perfect narrative to take the piss out of my work. And it's, I'm always going, fuck's sake, seriously? And now you call yourself a healer of light language. Now all healers are tarnished with that brush. It's just like David Icke. When you mention David Icke, it's like, oh right, yeah, lizards. There's a lot more going on with everything, but we want to shut everybody down. And I don't want to shut down light language. I want to say, look, explain to me what you mean by it. And fair enough, yesterday, hands up, I'll be honest, not a nasty word from any light language person. They were trying to explain to me in their way, and I thought, good on you, at least you're not taking offense and getting angry. That was my experience yesterday, so I didn't get attacked or anything, which is nice, because the spiritual world surely likes to attack. So that was nice. At least there weren't any mocking, ridicule on both sides. I actually put it out there and said, look, if two people want to come along and speak light language to each other and then interpret it, I just write it down first before you say. So I'll just give you a script. So speak to this lady in light language, and if she answers back what script I gave you, then I'm going to say, okay, I'm listening now. I am genuinely listening to what you're saying. If this is a language and you understand it, and you talk about speaking Lemurian, or you talk about speaking whatever it is, different languages, then they all sound the same to me. I've heard like loads. I've posted a few lately, and I got sent some. They all sound the same, almost. I know you're speaking in your own voice, but the words that you're saying, I'm like, oh no, you said that in that language. You said this. You're repeating the same thing. You're just adding a few little different hints to it. So I'm sorry, I don't get it. Is that wrong that I don't get it? Yes, I had a couple of people who said that you don't understand because you don't vibrate high enough. Okay, I've been a healer for 20 years. I've probably done more, and this isn't ego, but I've probably done more healing sessions than 100 light workers put together. I used to spend 1 hour and a half on each client, pure energy healing, in a quiet room with music, feeling that client's energy only, no non-touch, just feeling that energy and helping them heal from illnesses such as cancer, all sorts of illnesses. And I had a great reputation. I was fully booked for 3 to 6 months sometimes. I traveled all over the world, all over. I worked with the Brooman Group, working with horses. I've done healing on every animal you can think of. I don't vibrate high enough. How high do I need to vibrate at? I'll put anybody to the test. You and me, if you think you vibrate higher, no problem. Let's go and do a little test. I'm up for that. Which means that you can have these, they go onto the heart and they go onto the head and they measure your energy and frequency in the sense of how your mind relaxes and doesn't relax. When I was 38 years old, I went to a psychiatrist because my wife said, you're a little bit angry. you know, you're getting a bit angry these days, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go then. And the psychiatrist told me about, I didn't know much about psychiatrists, but I went to see one in Fuengirola, and he talked about a lifeline. And he said, in your lifeline, if anything ever happened to you which was traumatic, it was like a burn in that lifeline. And I'm like, shit, I've got a lot of burns then. I was beat up most days by my dad. I was bullied at school. I mean, when I say bully, I mean proper. I got beat up so bad so many times. Teachers, Mr. Murray used to whip me every week without fail, and so on and so on. So yeah, my mum died at 12 of cancer, and I watched her go through the death. I think I've been through some shit, yeah, you're right. But what he did, he says, I want to show you something called meditation. And I says, well, that's amazing, because I've just started to go to a circle night with Danish people, and I close my eyes, and he says, yeah, that's it, that's what you do. And I says, oh yeah, I'm doing that at the moment, and I'm really enjoying it. He says, well, let's just see if you can meditate. I'm like, okay. So he stuck these things on my forehead. After 30 minutes, he showed me the monitor, and he ripped off this thing, because it was like and he said, have you seen this? I'm like, no. He said, I've never seen anything like it in my life. And I said, what is it? He says, you went into the deepest meditation within a matter of 3 minutes. It could have been less. For me, I can go into meditation like that. In here now, I could go into meditation and not have a thought. Why? No idea. But what I noticed is, the more then I became a healer. And then I started doing, in a little room, hours and hours and hours. We're talking, getting to work at 10 o'clock. First client at 10. Next client at 11:30. Next client at 2 o'clock. Have my dinner, come back. Next client, whatever, it was 3 o'clock. Like, about 7 clients a day. So within that day, I'd have hours of being in silence with beautiful music, just gentle music, giving healing, trying to understand people's energy. What does that mean? It's a deep, complicated, but beautiful process of knowing a pain, feeling that pain, recognizing that pain, and putting the pieces together of what's wrong with the client, where the issue is on the body of the client. That was it. That was my work. So I learned to understand illness, sickness, disease by way of energy, feeling that energy, recognizing that energy over 20 years. So I've mentioned this before. I was at a big house here in Marbella because I was invited to a group of Reiki masters, and to show them or to talk to them about my work. So I remember driving up the mountain, and this house was freaking massive, and there were about 12 ladies, all masters of Reiki. So this is how easy it was for me. I asked the lady, lovely lady, to come and sit down on a seat. And as I'm speaking to them about pure energy healing and what I've learned from pure energy healing, I started scanning the lady's body and went down to a certain part of her body and just naturally said, see, this lady has an issue right here, as my hand was over that issue. And she turned and looked at me and she says, how the hell did you know I've got a pain there, I've got a problem there? And I says, because it's easy. Because I've learned to feel pain. I've learned to feel energy, disturbance, frequency that shouldn't be. And that was it. The whole of the 12 people were just listening, gobs open listening to what I was saying, because when you point out something so small on the body and at a certain specific place, exactly where I said it was, people then start to take notice. Now, I'm not saying that light language can't do that, but it's easy to go, it's easy to do that. Anybody can do that. But you sit with somebody and scan their body and try and find where there's an issue in that body and say, look, you've got an issue right here on your right eye. I can feel it. And then they say, oh my God, I have got an issue in my right eye. I've had it for ages. I can't see out of it that well. Okay, now I'm taking notice. But when somebody in light language is doing that, I'm trying to figure out what it is you're trying to say, right? What you're trying to do. What is it? What explain to me what's going on here. Why the language? What for? I don't know. Today I'm going to be a bird. I'm going to be a cat. Oh, sorry, Lila. The dog understands. The dog understands. What I just said there, I said, there's a dog under my seat. And Lily heard me in cat language. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to take the piss. That was a joke, guys. Honestly, I don't mean to be awful, and I don't want people to watch this and think what a bastard he is. I'm not. Honestly, I'm not. If it helps people and makes people feel better, that's fine. But if somebody said to me, Mark, explain what you do, I have no problem explaining it, and I have no problem in showing you how it works. And I would lay you down and give you a full healing session back in the days, and then you'd go, wow, my God, I don't know why I feel like this I feel like peaceful. I've trained thousands of people in the Pure Energy Healing Academy. The tears, the throwing up, the change of thought, the change of life, the change of path that happens. It's there, it's tangible, it's like science, it's there, it's provable. And I've always been that type of person, guys. I'm not somebody who just believes in light language. I'm sorry, I don't just believe in it. I have to see, I have to feel, and maybe I'm not as spiritual and I vibrate at the higher frequency of just believing anything, right? Maybe, yes, I don't. There's so much quackery, there's so much lies, so much manipulation, there's so many bored people in this world just after appreciation or after attention that I'm sorry, but I just don't believe hardly in anything. I hear people telling me stories about these healers and those that talk about being amazing healers and that they can do this and do that. I've heard it all before. And the amount of true healers around this world are very few in the sense that actually do healing. And I've seen more healers, more powerful healers that say that they're not a healer, that don't even know that they're a healer. And I'm like, wow, that person is a powerful healer. She'd have done healing in her life. So she does healing every day. She holds a child. She gives people a cuddle. She holds people's hands. She's a true healer. So I don't buy into I'm the best healer in the world or I've been doing it for... It's nothing to do with any of that. So it's a complicated field of work. Yes, if you practice, you get better and better. But there are natural healers. I wasn't a natural healer, even though a lady once told me I was. I didn't feel I was a natural healer, and I worked very hard. Worked hard at reading. I worked hard at intuition. I worked hard at so many things. Meditation was easy for me, but I worked hard at breathing techniques. I worked hard at mantras. I always struggled with mantras. Ajahn helped me with that for many years, and I worked hard at so many things. Couldn't do yoga, but I would rather meditate than do yoga. I'm not that flexible. So, I'm going off on a tangent here. But when I like take the mick out of things, my work is easily the work that people can take the mick out of, and they do daily. Crystals. You sell crystals. What a lot of bullshit. You do healing. What a lot of bullshit. Or you do tarot cards. You must be an evil bastard. But I guess with light work and like any kind of work, the intention is important. So, do they do any damage? I don't think they do. Are they possessed? I have no idea. Maybe not. Are they lonely, sad? Are they just looking for acknowledgement? Maybe not. Again, the right and wrong thing doesn't serve any purpose, doesn't help life in any way. We live and let live, and that's would sound like a real hypocrite right now, because I've been talking about it, but I was genuinely interested in finding out if somebody wanted to come on my podcast, two light workers who speak to each other, who actually know what each other's saying. That's a genuine, that wasn't a piss take, that wasn't trying to wind anybody up. If you really speak light language, then you're bound to understand what each other is saying, surely. If you come from Lemuria, if you come from whatever 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, whatever it may be. I don't understand these 3Ds, 5Ds, 10Ds. I'm just a simple guy with dyslexia, and what I see in front of me, the client in front of me, what I work with on my client is pretty much very, very simple work. And it's basically pure energy healing. Is a beautiful form. It's a beautiful form of healing. There's no limits with pure energy healing. It's gorgeous. It's really beautiful. No limits. And I guess I could have only been that person to share that, because I was butchered by teachers in so many ways, by priests, by nuns, by my dad. And I think when you've been beat mentally, emotionally that much, that you either turn that way or you go the opposite way. And any form of my pure energy healing work is a free flow to follow your inner gift, not what I do. Follow what feels right to you, and it's liberating. There's so many healing techniques that are ABC, 1, 2, 3, hands on, hands off, symbols. Nothing like that in pure energy healing. That's why we call it pure, because your purity is the living force that makes that healing technique what it is. So there's thousands of pure energy healers out there that have molded a beautiful individual healing technique in their own unique way. Now that to me just makes me smile, and there is no ego there. You follow what feels right, and do not, don't let anybody stop you. Follow that. And if your client gets up from a healing session and says, that was the most beautiful thing, I cried, I feel amazing, then you're doing something right. Follow that. That's your answer. Your customer is your answer. At the end of that healing session, your customer will be your answer if you're on the right path or not. That's how I see it. But I wish you a lovely day, whatever you're doing. I think I've got my mixture right on the blend of the healer. I think I can't really explain that I needed to get it so it wasn't too strong or not strong enough. I think I've got it just right. So today I'm going to go back to the Pure Energy Healing Academy and another hour and a half, 2 hours pure energy healing into that oil, and then I'm going to start bottling it. I've got the stickers. It's called Blend of the Healers, and hopefully it will be out very soon, and I hope you appreciate it. The Japanese peppermint is absolutely gorgeous. I've got some really beautiful oils in this one. Gold, still with gold, of course, and with silver now. I'm really happy with it. And what's come out of me in this past 3 weeks, I just this morning, what came out of me, and it was like, I feel like I've been on the most amazing detox in these past 3 weeks. It's on my chest now, rubbed it on my chest, and every hour, and it's worked. And I'm now starting to feel what could be classed as normal after a detox. So it's incredible. So I hope you appreciate the oil, and there's a lot of writing to do because of what I believe it's good for, and I hope you appreciate it. That's it, really. Now this is, it's not as much, well, it isn't. It's more of a physical. It's not a spiritual. It's this. I wanted to make an oil that was physical, so it literally clears out the toxins from the body. I want it to heal your cuts, your bruises, your breaks, splash pools. Very close to us, splash pools in Mijas, M-I-J-S. Lovely lady. She fell. She's the owner of Splash Pools. About a week ago, she fell, and she showed me a picture of her foot, and it was black. Right, so her foot it was awful. Anyway, she's been rubbing. I gave her this new oil, and I went to see her yesterday with regards to something else, and she was so overjoyed. And she was so overjoyed that she's got a friend who has hurt herself really bad, and she gave her bottle because she said she needs it now more than me because my foot is getting much better. So I gave her another bottle for a friend and for her. So that's just one. You know, I mean, there's so many people who have contacted me thus far and said it's absolutely amazing, but it's strong. But I'm very pleased with it. So yeah, all good. I'm wishing you a lovely day. Anyway, guys, all the best to you. Just remembered that there's a urbanization meeting today at 2:00. Do I want to go to it? Oh my God. Urbanization meetings. Oh my God. Somebody give me a rope. All right. I wish you a lovely day, guys. Take care. See you later. Say bye, Lily. Say bye-bye, Lily. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye.